Fuck. God damn it. Fuck.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer and credits scene by scene, so you don't have to, but you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Thanks, bud.
You probably didn't hear any of that, listener.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. All right, so we're back. We're part 2 of our breakdown of 211, 2018, Nick Cage action flick.
Yeah. This, I guess, is action, yeah.
There's some action. So where we left off with the bar and grill over there getting exploded with C4 under the table. Classic move when you're trying to rob a bank, blow up the cafe. That's a couple streets over. It's distraction. Yeah, it's distraction, baby. Yeah, so the robbers are in. They're robbing the bank. We're doing kind of a poor job of this. Things are escalating very quickly, and these guys are not very calm and cool, collected at all in terms of their job, which is robbing a bank. But they're supposed to seem like they are, but they're not. They're very trigger happy and just...
We get it over the radio. Cranberry Boulevard, possible terrorist activity. All units respond. And you're like...
Cranberry Boulevard.
Cranberry Boulevard. It's Massachusetts, Russ. Don't forget.
Right. That's what we have. We got cranberries up here, right?
Where cranberries come from. Yeah.
That's right. We cut to the outside guy, and he's like inside his car still, and he's like, "Oh man, what's going on?" Right? And it's like,
yeah.
How did you not plan for this? Like, how is this not part of what you're planning?
Yeah, if you're gonna blow up a place, you have to expect that people are going to investigate it.
Yeah, and that's just how things go.
Mm-hmm. So Mike back in the car with Mike and Mac. Mike's like, "Well, we can't go. There's a kid in the car.
Get the kid. You can't go over there. Oh man.
Let's stick with this traffic violation problem. More importantly,
right. So then they're kind of moving over there, and then we cut to the bank real quick. So this is like where things start cutting terribly. And it's very weird. So we come into the bank, and like we got Trey and Hanson, the other guy at the front windows, are looking out, and like, shit, oh man, cops. I was like, why didn't they
Stay Frosty Brothers?
Yeah, like we can steal a line from another better movie and like, stay Frosty. Shut up. Like, stop that. Like. So then we cut to the police headquarters, and everyone is on alert. The entire department is on alert. They're all running. They're grabbing their guns. They're all loading up.
Yeah. And we got they did terrorism. Of course they are.
All right, the terrorism, right. And then we got the dude and the lady cop. They're making back and forth about shooting each other in the ass or something like that. And then they load up in their own warehouse, which I think is the same as the other warehouse. But they load up in their own warehouse with 2-3 Humvees or something.
Something like that.
It's a SWAT team of Humvees.
Yeah.
And like as you said,
Chesterford is a small town, as far as I know.
In Middlesex County, Massachusetts.
Nick Cage's character looks like he has never seen a day of action in his life, like his whole career. Yeah, it's mostly shoplifting.
And like kids spray painting the bridge. You know, it's like that's it.
Exactly.
That's Chesterford, Massachusetts. That's it.
Yes.
A couple kids doing fentanyl. That's about it. Yep. So they got the missing guy, and then we cut to the hospital because don't forget. Oh right. Kenny's mom's a nurse, so let's tie this all in together here. We get the ambulance on the way.
She seems like she's a doctor. I don't know. She seems like she's like the head doctor in charge here.
Well, in the beginning, she's like, "Oh, I'm a nurse over blah 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 blah." But yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know if this is how nurses operate. Like, they just run the show like a quarter. Yeah, like she's quarterbacking everybody, even the doctors, and like maybe that's what they do. I don't know.
Yeah,
but she's getting the entire team in order, and this team, I don't know if I would trust them with my life, but
nope.
I was like, she's like telling these people what to do, and I'm like, is that like a 15-year-old girl? She's like, that works here? Like, what is going on?
But also, like, she's incredibly competent at her job. She's like, she's like listing off like really logical things, which I'm also like, oh, they spent 5 minutes Googling now. And they're like, anyone who's not prepping for this is donating blood because, of course, they're going to need lots of blood. Like, there's a lot of casualties here at the explosion, right?
Yeah.
But she's not piecing it together that like, presumably all the cops are going there and your son is out on a ride along with all the cops. So
let's see how that goes. So there's like the restaurant explosions on TV. So they're seeing the news come and kind of roll through. And then this is about the halfway point. And then okay. So this is, I'll start this. I'll set the scene here. So we cut to Interpol agent Rossi.
That's right.
Driving a rental through the great state of Massachusetts, I believe, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
She's just past Worcester at this point.
Yeah, right. Just past Worcester. She's hearing about the explosion on the radio, and she's like, hey, GPS, reroute to Chesterford, Massachusetts. And it's like, rerouting.
New destination, Chesterford. It's like 8 minutes.
Yeah, and she's...
Wait, what?
Next exit, 16. Like, wait, you're right there? So then she does like an extremely aggressive, illegal move and just cuts someone off, cuts across the highway to catch exit 16. I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? Like almost causes an accident on the highway and like almost kills someone, probably a family too.
Yeah.
I got so many issues.
Some Bulgarian family, like during filming, they almost killed.
They didn't even tell them. They're just doing it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of issues here with this whole scene. So one is like the highway. So she gets off exit 16 and there's like 2 highway signs. It says Chesterford with an arrow and it's like well past the exit. I'm like, that's not how that works. Maybe in Bulgaria it does. And then right next to that sign is a sign that just says Boston and it has an interstate like number on it, which I think said 64. There's no 64 that comes into Boston, not interstate. No. Closest one we got is 84, and that's in Connecticut. So
yeah.
So that's fun stuff. But then
from here.
I do love. So she starts speeding away, and they pan back and they show the car. The mountain range we have here in Massachusetts, it is
beautiful.
For those who have never been here,
as tall as the Bulgarian
mountains. There's nowhere in Massachusetts where there's this giant flat open farming fields and then like a legit mountain range in the background.
That's right.
That's not here. We don't have that. So all right, so we're at the streets and we got the SWAT team shows up. He's like, we got a new character.
Bodies everywhere.
Yeah, there's bodies. And then we got our SWAT team leader here, guy. I don't know what his name is, but whatever.
This is where I was a little confused because the SWAT team lead guy, I was like, he looks kind of like the guy from Afghanistan.
He does.
Doesn't he look like the army guy from Afghanistan?
He's playing double roles.
Is that the same guy? It might be. I don't know.
He's just chewing gum, spitting out orders, in like a New York accent or some other accents, not Massachusetts. Like, what is going on? Where is everyone from? So he shows up. He's on the scene. He's setting. He's like, I want snipers everywhere. I want the area secured. Not even that good of an accent. I don't even know what it is.
Get me intel.
The waitress, we see the waitress. I'm like, how is she not dead? Like, how is she not just exploded into parts?
And they're like, the waitress says the explosion came from inside. Can anyone else confirm that?
Like,
probably not.
I mean, you could look at where the explosion marks. Like, you can see how they've got smart people who figure this shit out. Like, explosion starts from a certain point and then goes outward. Like things went out from a point. So we're to find the point where everything went out from.
And then this is when things escalate
at the bank
stupidly.
Yeah. So.
like listeners, nothing in this movie has made sense so far, but at least you could kind of get from here to there.
Yeah.
This is when things just stop. They're like, I think they lost some pages in the script or something because like it's like a complete. The transition doesn't make any sense.
They're like, we gotta get moving here. We only have like a week left on the studio here. So So the driver, we're back at the bank. The driver gets out of his
getaway driver.
The getaway driver who is the worst getaway driver ever.
That's right.
He gets out and just starts to fire it up and just unloads on Mike and Mac there.
Yeah, like a submachine gun, just like unloads on the parking lot.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh no, it's so funny. You're like, why? Why are you like this? So obviously, immediately, Mac and Mike are like, shots fired. Like, we got a situation at the bank here. And the inside robber guys are like, that guy went off again.
He went out. Jesus. Man. Oh, man.
And Mike. And Nicolas Cage is driving the car around the parking lot and just like bashing it into every car, and it's so funny. Like, why are they destroying the police car?
So they do like a quick cut back to like the streets, like where the explosion was, and they get the call, and Delaney, that's the guy's name, Delaney and Jacobs, and they're like, oh, we'll go check out what's going on with them, right?
Yeah.
And then we're back outside the bank in the parking lot, and just absolute chaos. Chaos. Shots are just being littered everywhere, like.
Yep.
Just people in the cafe losing their shit. We got Mike and Steve, like they're smashing the cars. Like he call into 211, so he said the name of the movie. That's cool.
They're like, Kenny, stay on the floor, cover your head.
They smash into a car and Steve can't get his seatbelt out, and they're like, "Yeah, stay on the floor." Cover
Which is also wicked funny. Like, do you think that was in the script, or do you think that actor just couldn't get his seatbelt?
I think he couldn't get out. Like, we'll figure it out. Yeah, get a knife later, and we'll make that work.
Yeah.
So we cut to the bank, and like the main bad guy like starts choking Randy, And out of nowhere, some woman in the background is like, he can't breathe. Like, what is it?
He can't breathe. Let him go.
And then he like gets rid of that girl and it grabs that person. I'm like, what? They like as coordinated and as organized as they were to begin with. Like, as soon as one little thing went wrong, like which nothing went wrong other than a cop car pulling up to the bank. Like, if you're robbing a bank, you have to be ready for
a parking ticket.
You have to be ready for cops to be in the area. And like he's gonna come up to you and he's gonna be like, "Hey, you can't park here." That's what he's gonna do.
That's it.
Because you're inside the car. Yeah.
It's an Escalade.
Don't look suspicious.
Like you don't have like a weird military vet. Like you could get away with this. Just say like, "Oh, sorry, officer, I didn't know." And drive away.
Just
circle the block.
Just
come back.
Come back.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Things you could.
They're gonna go away. They're not gonna be like, "Huh? I wonder if something fishy's going inside the bank." Like, no,
of course not. There's a terrorist across town. You gotta like, the explosion worked. It all worked.
It worked.
You can get away with this, I promise. Just don't do this.
You still have 3 minutes, so you can do a loop. You have a 1 minute loop, 2 minute loop till you come back.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
Oh
Why?
my god! So this dude, our boy outside here, Texas shoot him up. He's just shooting people left and right. He's just like shooting people, like just
like wasting civilians left.
There's
and
like
right.
construction workers, like, oh hey, whoa, what's going on? What's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what?
Bah, bah, bah.
What are you doing, dude? Absolute shootout in the parking lot. Chaos is happening. Main bad guy takes a hostage, right, out to the doorway. And he just like, he takes the woman who says, I can't breathe. And he kicks open the door and just starts firing blindly, like from the hip. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this?
Just doesn't make any sense.
I think, was this part of the plan? Like, is this?
No. I mean, maybe. Who can say?
So then their plan is, and then they're like, all right, let's round up all the hostages into one room. So they bring him
sit down, face the wall.
This was part of the plan of them putting them all into one room, right?
Yeah, an hour after the situation starts. Like, this is taking so long. 5 minutes in and out my ass.
Yeah, yeah. And like, what else is part of the plan here? Like, you with the hostage, like, this makes no sense.
Nope. So there is no in and out anymore. Like, you have to know that.
Yeah. You just have to power through now.
Yes.
So we're back in the parking lot. More shooting. We got Kenny freaking out. He like starts climbing out of the cop car to the front. He grabs his phone from the glove box, which is important, right?
Yeah.
And then it's so funny because like literally the car it's like right next to him has Louisiana plates. I'm like, what? What is that? Why is that like it's like right there? I'm like, why is this? What's happening? Maybe it's a rental.
And Mac's like, all right, Kenny, you got to get out of the car, run as fast as you can. Like, get out of here.
And him and Steve get up and start running, and Steve takes one in the back of the leg and back of the thigh, I think it was, right?
That's right. And Mike is just like firing wildly towards the bank, which you're like, there's so many civilians around. Like,
yeah. And
why would you do this?
Oh my God. So then the Merc, like the guy, the lookout driver just tries to escape.
He goes and carjacks someone.
So hold on. So take a couple steps. He goes and hold on. So he goes to carjack. He goes to carjack someone, and he opens the door. This woman sitting inside the car. I'm like, lady, what are you still doing there?
Yes.
Drive away from the situation. You were in a car. Like, drive away. Like,
you must have heard what's going on.
Just drive away. So she's just in there. She's like, what? And he's just like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. Shoots her, throws her on the ground, gets in her car. And he's the worst lookout driver because he's basically escaping and leaving his buddies behind. Right?
Yep.
And then Mike is like taking shots at him, pop, 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 pop. Finally hits him in the head, and the guy drives into a fence. So your lookout driver's gone.
Incredibly, because this is at this point he's like hundreds of yards away again. Like everything is so close and so far. It depends on whatever's convenient for the scene.
Right.
But like somehow Mike gets nails him in the head through the window of the car, and like, well, all right, one robber down.
Yeah. Which later on, oh my God, later on, oh yeah, God, it's funny. Anyway, so we'll keep moving. So then we cut to Steve, and Steve just whining about his like, my leg, I got shot in the leg,
shot me,
I got a leg wound. I'm almost gonna be dead. I think I'm dead. And then Mike is like, he just comes over, he's like, it's just a scratch.
Stay with me, Mac. It's only a scratch. And he just goes, I'm bleeding out. I'm gonna die today. That's the spirit.
Yeah. Just wrap the thing up and wait a minute. You'll be fine. Yeah.
They're like, Kenny, get his leg. Kenny, get the med kit. Like, Kenny, like, and you're like, he's a kid.
He's a ride along. He doesn't know what he's doing. He knows how to film stuff on his camera. That's about it. And then the cavalry shows up, right?
Finally. Yeah.
Finally, they show up.
Yeah. And so back inside, they're like, all right, guys, change of plans. Wait.
You change of plans. You were the ones who were altering your own plans. No one else has actually done anything to interfere with your plans other than you jumping the gun, literally, on 2 cops who were just.
We're going to give you a parking ticket.
Not even. They're going to tell you move along. They're going to tell you just, hey, you can't park here
because there was a guy in the car. It's.
Yeah. No guy, ticket. Guy, you can't park here.
Change of plans.
Leave. So then he goes and tells the buddy in the fall. He's like, "Leave that shit. It's party time." Did he really just say that?
Yep.
We cut back to the hospital. This is diced up in a blender. We cut back to the hospital. And mom's still directing people, telling what to do.
Some guy rolls in with no leg, and you're like, "Oh my god, Jesus Christ!" What kind of movie is this all of a sudden?
And they're someone's so the EMT's yeah, get ready for more. There was some bank robbery going down and blah, 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 shots fired or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So then we come back to the grill that got blown up, right? The streets there. Yeah. And we got some guy just being copy that, 10-4. I'm okay, whatever. Perimeter secured. Okay.
Yeah, say cop stuff.
Yeah. And then Agent Rossi, she shows up and she has the hard-nosed convo with the SWAT leader guy. I'm this is just so obnoxious.
He's who are you?
Yeah. Dude, she's Interpol.
But also how would he know that?
I think she showed him a badge or something like that. But still, it's
still.
This whole thing is what she shouldn't be there doing this. No. She could be there, but she would be there with the FBI and a bunch of other people.
Right. And at this point, if she's there, that means that they have helpful information. And at this point, the SWAT guy or the is still trying to assess the situation and what's going on. Right. Nobody except Rossi has any idea of what's happening for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's got an idea of who these people are and whatever else. And
right.
But she's not communicating that effectively either.
No, not one bit. And then he's he's kind of lighting up and he's oh, there's a waitress over there. You go talk to the waitress. Maybe she saw something.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you could help. Go over there. Talk to the waitress.
So the waitress is trying to light a cigarette and her hands are shaking. And Rossi comes in holds her hand steady and lights the cigarette for her. I'm oh my god.
And then quick passes her some pictures.
A photo.
It's you seen any of these men? And it's she's flipping through and you're she just was at an explosion. There's no way her brain is working.
I feel
correctly.
her first, the waitress's first comment would have been what? I can't hear you. What?
Yes.
She was literally outside this explosion. Her ears would be fucking done.
Yes. So many things. And then she's oh no, this guy.
Yeah,
he left a big tip this morning.
That's what's got you, the big tipper. The driver was the worst guy. He's the one who blew this whole thing. Don't over tip. Don't do anything that draws attention to you, dude. What are you doing, man? He's the worst.
Yep. So now we're back at the bank, and the robbers are shooting out the windows for some reason. And you're why would you do this?
And Steve is not looking good. All of a sudden, Steve is looking like a lost boy.
Yeah. Which I didn't look this. Did you look? I've never heard this word before. Hypovolemic.
Nope. Didn't even. Nope.
Max I'm going into hypovolemic shock, Kenny.
What? What does that
mean? Well, apparently, according to the internet, it's a form of shock caused by severe hypovolemia, which can be caused by severe dehydration or blood loss.
Okay. So that's the one thing they researched in this entire movie?
Did they? And why would Mac even be aware of this as a thing? He's I'm going into hypovolemic shock, Kenny. You seem like a dumbass 5 minutes ago. How do you know if hypovolemic shock is?
Just say you're going into shock. I've lost too much blood. Use the words that everyone can understand. Use the shorter words. And I think maybe we get these lines mixed up, but I think Nick Cage was yeah, don't fucking at me, or I'll fucking kill you. And I was that's a great line, but that's what he said, right? I
think so, yeah.
It's kind of
I don't know. He worked Kenny in there too, because then maybe he's yelling Kenny right afterwards or something.
Well, yeah,
I thought I'll kill you, Kenny. I was oh.
Yeah, a little South Park moment here. Kill Kenny. So then, meanwhile, we cut back to inside the bank, and we got the sniper dude inside the bank. He's just picking cops off left and right.
POV shots of the scope.
Oh my god!
Just headshotting cops, and you're wait, what?
And we cut back to Steve and Kenny hanging out, and Kenny's hey, you gotta stay awake, man. Stay with me. You gotta stay. You can't go, man. You can't go. You don't even know this cop. He was such a dick to you in the beginning of this movie. Why do you care?
I don't know.
So then we go back to the McAvoy home here. We got, of course, Lisa's taking all the kid stuff out of the, right, preggers, right.
Pulling the teddy bear out of the closet.
The tension.
A mobile.
And she gets a text alert about the explosion and whatever, and she puts on the news and starts getting filled in a bit. And we cut back to the parking lot.
Yep. And Kenny's trying to wake Mac up. Like, Mac, you got to get up. You got to get up.
Yeah. And he's kind of losing it, whatever. Kenny's not totally sure what to do. And he's like, and then Mac's like, hey, man, I need you to make a video of me.
On your phone right now. Do it, kid. And I wrote down most of this, more or less. But basically, he's like, honey, something bad happened. I know I promised I'll be safe. I'll make it back. But I can't keep that promise today. I really don't think I go out like this.
For the American people.
I just want to say I love you. It's not what you can do for me.
what the baby can do for the country.
I love our baby. Hey, kiddo. I'm your daddy. Sorry. I'm such a mess right now. I'm not there for you. It's not fair. Life's tough. You got to be strong, kid, because I can't protect you. Turn it off, Kenny. Turn it off. And Kenny's like, what?
The best part about it was I love how Kenny was like filming it and it cuts to Kenny looking at the battery on it. And I was like, oh man, I hope the battery dies while he's recording this. And Kenny's like, yeah, I got it, man.
That would have been wicked funny. That's what I was hoping for.
Like, wrap it up. Oh my God.
So then Mac like grabs Kenny and he's like, listen to me.
And says nothing. He says nothing. But then they spot the ambulance, the helicopter ambulance, whatever. Ambulance helicopter? Yeah. Medical team.
I thought it was just a police helicopter.
I think it was a med one. I don't know.
Medevac or something.
Yeah. Oh my God. So then there's like cops down everywhere. They're scrambling to take cover and grab down cops, whatever. And we cut to.
Speaking of vehicle violations.
Oh.
I know. I've been derelict so far. I've been letting this movie get to me and not doing the facts enough. But random facts with Jared time. Did you know in Ohio, it's technically illegal to get a speeding ticket in outer space?
Wow. You took me on I went on a U-turn there.
So there's a law in Ohio that says no person shall operate a vehicle at such a speed as to endanger the life, limb, or property of any person while on a public or private road or in outer space.
Columbus. That was Columbus, Ohio. Just Ohio. Just Ohio.
Just Ohio. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
On a public or private road or in outer space.
Hey, you got to cover all the ground. Space. I mean, or things in a vacuum.
Space.
All right, that's good. That's a fun one. I like that. God bless. All right, so then we get a quick cut to Lisa trying to call Mac here because obviously she knows something's going on.
This is when I realized Steve was Mac. She's getting a voicemail that's like,
Steve.
Hey, it's Steve.
Hey, babe, it's me. And then we cut back to more action violence. We get one cop takes a shot to the neck. He's gone. Let's get out of here. And then they push forward towards the bank, right? And they start to move out with. So then Mike and Steve and Kenny, they start to go and move, I think, or they go. Oh, that's right. They come in. They pick up Steve to carry him out of that area.
Yep.
And it's
also,
just
like
hilarious.
Mike's just got a handgun and he's firing wildly, and you're like, how many rounds does he have in this handgun? Like they were not prepared for this.
And it's so goofy. It's so funny because like they go and they pick up Steve. There's 4 cops who pick up Steve, and then they're just running without cover, like just in the middle of the parking lot. And there's one cop like providing them cover fire. I was like, what is going on? Meanwhile, Kenny's like running after him. He drops his phone. He goes back to grab it, and he gets pinned down. That's when he hops into the random car that we saw in the trailer. But he checks his phone, and his phone is dead because he had to film the goddamn video for Mac there. So now he's dead.
Yep. So the cops finally evacuate Mac. He's in the ambulance.
Yeah.
Everything's going okay, except Jacobs gets shot too.
Well, then there's like some quick shots of Mac like seeing like the woods and a quick shot of his wife, and it's like, what?
Oh yeah.
This is stupid. Oh yeah, and then Jacobs takes a hit. She's down, and I love how the other cop goes back and just drags her by the neck, like, all right, dude.
Yes. She's like, ow. Yeah, and then as they're loading up Mac into the ambulance, they're like, he's got no vitals. You're like, oh, so he's dead already.
So he's done, right? Should we just no vitals? So then Cage is chatting with the other cops, and he's like, "Hey, we got to lock this place down." I was like, "Wouldn't that be the first thing you would have done when getting into this?"
So no one else dies today. Spoilers, listeners. A lot more people are going to die today.
A lot more people are going to die. And then they're, oh boy, we're missing Kenny.
And we finally get the, wait, where's Kenny?
Where's Kenny? Meanwhile.
Yeah.
And then Mike gets the call from his daughter. The first phone. Here's the phone call. And
oh, well, right before that, they do a quick cut to the robbers, and they're like, "We got to wait for dark."
Oh, right.
Like that'll be the solution. You're like, wait, I don't think so.
Yeah. What is your plan? What's
the new plan?
Yeah.
You should leave as fast as possible. Still,
you guys
before more cops show up.
You guys aren't very good at your job at all. Like you don't deserve the $1 million that is not going to get you anywhere. No, yeah, you're dummies. That's why. So then Mike gets the call from Lisa, and he's like, "It's not good, honey. You're taking him to St. Luke's. Doesn't look good." All right.
Okay.
And then we are back with Kenny, and we are in the back of a car that happens to have a doll that's running a 9-volt battery.
Yeah, which he somehow plugs into his phone in a minute, and it's incredible.
Does some wiring work and plugs it into like another adapter that he's got to his phone. What?
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Like what?
It's so funny.
What? What? So, whatever. We're gonna gloss over that one.
Yep. Then we cut to the hospital.
Back of the hospital. And
I love this scene.
Oh, this whole scene is fantastic. So Mac's getting hauled in, right?
Yeah.
And the mom spots him. Because
the nurse. Yeah,
the nurse mom there. Kenny's mom spots him, right? And then Lisa shows up, and this hospital is very strange. Like the front desk is like right next to the room where like they're doing this ER surgery stuff. I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, but and she literally sees Mac in surgery, and she just goes into the room.
like pushes aside surgeons, and one of the doctors literally goes, "Let us do our job, man."
Yeah, like your husband's like,
but she doesn't.
Nope.
She stays. Yeah,
she stays. It's like, what is going on right now? How is this? Like they're literally performing surgery on him, like trying to pull bullets out of his leg. So then Jacobs comes in right next to him. Another thing, right? She's all banged up. And then is how we connect all the dots, right? Because then Mike is...
She's like, those guys have more firepower than the devil. Like, what does that mean?
And then...
How much firepower does the devil have? Like,
and then she's like, oh, and then Lisa's like, oh, where's Mike? And Mike is like, Chandler or whatever. And she's like, oh, Mike is still at the scene looking for his ride along. And that's when
probably
the mom...
looking for the kid.
Kenny's mom is right there, and she's like, that's my baby. That's Kenny.
Yep. So we get back to Kenny, and he's like still trying to charge his phone.
Yep. Calls mom.
Success. Yep.
This is hilarious. So then she's we cut the back of the hospital, same scene as before, 2 seconds ago. And she's like, oh, you want to get the phone? Lisa's like talking to mom, like, you want to get the phone for you? So she answers the phone for her and puts it to her ear.
Because she's covered in blood from Mac.
And Jacobs is dying right there on the gurney. Yes. Like it's like right in front of her, like she's all shot up. Like
it's so funny.
Don't you need to go take care of the wounded here right now? Like I understand it's your son, but like, all right.
And then Kenny, because he's a dipshit, just is like,
oh my God.
Mom, they're shooting people. And his mom's like, all right, don't move. Like, just stay where you are. And then Kenny's like, phone dies immediately. They're like, we love you.
Right, yeah. Oh, okay.
He got 2 seconds of juice out of that doll battery that somehow he connected to his phone.
MacGyvered it. All right, so then we're back at the bank parking lot. Nighttime now. We're in nighttime. Yep. We're coming close here.
And I'm like, what has the SWAT team been doing all day? Like, they're the most useless SWAT team in the biz.
The worst. So they got the area secured. They got their little tent set up, right? And then Agent Rossi shows up. And we got Mike giving his report. This is kind of cut from the scene from the trailer, but
well, besides Agent Rossi, there's also just like tons of bystanders around now too. For some reason. Like you're like, why is no one controlling this scene? Like there's like
it's not secure.
Random people just standing around this bank, like where there's an active shootout happening. Like
get everyone out of here. Like
yes.
So then Mike is giving his report to like the higher upstairs lieutenant. Who's a dummy, and he's like, I was ready for it. I was like, Nick Cage, he's getting ready. He's ready to go all Nick Cage in this moment, right?
Yeah.
And he's ready for the burst. He's like, what took you so long? It's my son. My son is dead.
The acting's so bad in the scene. Like we know Nick Cage can do better. And he's just like, he's like breaking down while he's like delivering. He's like, that's when we took incoming fire and my partner was hit and we had a ride along in the back. And where's the ride along now? And he's like, I don't know, sir.
I don't know, sir. Jesus.
yeah, that's when he's like, "What took you so long?"
Yeah.
My son.
My son is dead. Who's gonna have a son? And then the boss is like trying to calm him down. He's like, just calm down. Just calm down.
Chandler, you got to de-escalate.
You got to de-escalate.
Bring it down for me.
Bring it down. And this lieutenant is not good at acting either. So then Rossi shows up, and then she's like, whatever, lieutenant's talking to someone else, and he's like, he's a dumbass. He's like, I got the governor, I got the mayor's coming down to tell you, he's on my ass, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, what is going on? So then Rossi's like, goes and talks to the SWAT team leader, and she's like, hey, giving him some tips, and she's like, yeah, this is what they want you to do. They want you to come in here, blah, blah. And he's like, kind of not really listening to her, but kind of is. And she's like, yeah, they're not gonna go easily, right? And your assault will be their escape. That's how they're gonna get out of here.
Yep. And the guy who's in charge is just basically like, I don't have time for any of this. I need these guys in cuffs or on a slab.
Yeah. Let's go. Send them in.
Speaking of dummy cops, did you know in some places in the United States, some police departments use life-size cutouts of police officers to like deter crime? Like they put them in like random places around the city to like pretend there's cops there. I was like, wait, this can't be real. But nope, it's apparently a real thing.
Wait, where is this?
In the United States, various police, like apparently it's pretty common. Like this is the thing that is like part of general American police training. Is like, you know how you can deter crime if there's like a high crime alleyway or something like that. If you put a cardboard cutout of a cop there, the criminals will never know and they'll think there's a cop there.
Okay. That's like
deter crime.
It's called a scarecrow. Basically, is what that is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Police scarecrows.
Yes, putting a fake dog in the yard to scare away the turkeys. You know, like it works. Works in humans too.
Yep,
that's pretty dumb. Okay, so then we're back at the bank. I think we're in the bank. We got the boys, right?
Yep. Well, no, there's a quick cut with Rossi and the other SWAT guy. Yeah. And he's like, that guy's an imbecile.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, Mike Chandler would agree with you. You should probably go talk to that guy. And then they're like talking about cop books that they both read and like doing quotes from it. I was like, what is
this?
Yeah. And then the SWAT guy's finally like, well, what should I do? And she's like, I don't know. She's literally like, they're going to leverage your assault to get out, to escape. Like everyone on the street's in danger. And then she like walks away and you're like, not helpful.
And
what you supposed to do?
And like, how is this part of this isn't part of the plan was to get in and out in 5 minutes, not do this whole thing. So
Nope.
All right, so we're back in the bank. We're down in the vault hanging out. The boys just, eating some MREs there, and we got
cock and guns still.
Yeah, we're cocking guns, reflecting on Kabul. Remember that time in Kabul? Oh yeah, Kabul. Yeah, Kabul. Yeah.
We made it out of there. We can make it out of here for sure.
I noted, I was like, who is this big dumbass with a stupid haircut? Oh, that's Weston. Oh, yep. Weston.
That's right.
Comb your hair. Comb your hair. You look like an idiot.
And they're still like, all right, boys, don't worry. We're going to walk away from this with $1 million. It's going to be fine. Go check on the hostages. And you're like, wait, why are they all here and no one's with the hostages?
There's only 4 of them. Well, there was 5. Well, now it's down to 4, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I think there were 4 and now there's 3, right?
Oh, yeah. Because 4 was the driver and then it's Hanson, right. Weston there and Trey. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I love that idea of them just be like, wait, if we're all here, who's with the hostages?
Randy.
Oh man, Weston. Oh man. So then they get up to these guys are bad actors.
There's another quick cut to the SWAT team, and they're cocking guns too.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, "All right, you guys ready to go?
Let's move. Here they come." So then the maid bag Trey, he heads up to the hostage room here, and he goes to check on him, and there's he finds one dude fiddling with his phone. Like, how does he still have his phone? What do you guys? You're the worst. You were the worst. You were actually the worst. They talked you up so much, but you're actually the worst. You're not good at this at all.
Yeah. And Randy's like, "Hey, leave that guy alone." And Robert's like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "You're not a hero," and points the gun at Randy's head, and Randy's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Shoot me?
Go ahead, shoot me." And he does.
And everyone's like,
oh my God. Well, I guess Randy and the wife aren't going to fall asleep in front of Netflix tonight.
And so it just the camera just zooms in on Randy's corpse, and you're like, Oh, okay.
I guess that storyline's all buttoned up. Got a new spin on Netflix and chill. Guess we're okay. So that's over. So we're at the SWAT campsite here, and they're planning stuff. They're like, let's just try to keep the casualties.
13 hostages.
Yeah. Let's keep the casualties down to a minimum. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna go into the main entrance for sure. I can get 5 guns in there in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, everyone's time is terrible here. And then Mike shows up and he's like, "Hey, what about the kid? He's my responsibility." And they're like, "Yeah, we'll go and try and see if he's like, no, he's my responsibility." Like, what? How is any of this thing? How is any of this working? And Rossi's just sitting there watching in the background, kind of like
yeah,
idiots.
Mike looks at her. He's just like,
and then they all file on. And Mike stops at the table and grabs a machine gun. He's like, "I'm gonna go do my own thing."
Walks off.
Yeah. What?
Yep. So then we see a helicopter again, like the police helicopter or whatever, just like flying around. The robbers are looking out the windows, like, "All right, here they come."
Yeah.
Like go get Trey. He'll know what to do.
Yeah. It's dummies. So the SWAT team's moving in, and then the bad dudes have like their own new plan. They're moving all the hostages now down to the front entrance, the front door.
Line them up.
Use
them like human shields.
And is this where he sneaks something into the pocket of the?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Okay. So then Mike's like, he's like getting ready to get the kid. He's like got him through a scope. He sees him. Okay. And at first you think, oh, this is a bad guy. It's like, no, it's just Mike.
Yeah. And then he's still looking through the scope and like moves over to Kenny.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't point a gun at Kenny, even if it's
trying to use the scope to see him. And then his buddy, who he made the joke earlier about not wanting him to be his daughter's husband there, is like, "Hey man, you don't have to come help me." He's like, "Yeah, no, but we're brothers." He's like, "Yeah, that's right, we are." Like, all right,
let's get him.
Let's get him. So we're back in the bank, and the phone, they're all lining up, and the guy who had the phone tries to make a run for it.
Yep. And this is like they're just now, again, this has been probably 10 hours. Who knows how long that they've been doing this robbery at this point. Yeah. They're just now like zip tying the hostages. Why wouldn't you have done this?
Guys, like
10 hours ago.
Step 1, have them all throw their phones in the middle of the floor. Get them all together. Have them throw all their phones in the middle of the floor. Bag those up. Zip tie them. Like,
so then, so the guy makes a break for it, and the robbers just shoot him.
Lights him up. He's gone.
Like, they'll just kill some of the hostages left and right. You're like, why? And then that's when one of the guys sneaks out a little bomb in
a little C4 biscuit chocolate bar. Here you go.
Into a hostage pocket.
Wouldn't you put something around her mouth so she couldn't yell when she gets outside? Like, hey.
Yes. If I were a terrorist.
if I were a bad guy. Zip ties, phones, and gags. Like, Jesus. Yeah. So then we're back in the parking lot, and Mike and the helicopter making a move to go get Kenny, and they get him. Yep. They get him, right?
And they hug. It's
a sweet moment. Yep. And then we get back to the SWAT stuff going on, right? And everyone's just kind of watching as the SWAT team's like moving in.
Very slowly.
Cut back to the bank, right? And bad boys they're getting ready now, right? And I'm like, why are they covering their faces now? Like
couldn't tell you.
So dumb.
Maybe to avoid tear gas or something. Like that's not one of my least gripes with the thing, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Of all the gripes. So then So then they release the hostages who all go out the front door.
Yep.
And then they get
immediately the woman's like, he put something in my pocket. Because
they get all the hostages like out behind like a SWAT like Humvee there, and like she immediately says this, and the SWAT leader guy, he like chewing gum there, he pulls it out and it's like a little C4 bomb. He's like, shit. And I love how he just starts running. I'm like, what? Throw it. I don't know. Why would
anything else?
Like you running is not gonna anything else. Like anything else. So he just starts running away with it, and bad dude inside is like, time to light him up. And lights him up. Now remember, I know it's a small amount of C4, but remember, this is C4. Yeah, he didn't get very far away from the hostages. No. like they're all
8
dead.
Feet away from them.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Everyone's dead. The cop cars exploded, I'm sure, at this point.
The SWAT thing's flipped over. But then, so he blows up, and I feel like the camera went from two ways. It went to like the hostage reaction, like, oh, and then it cut to him actually blowing up, and it was just a dummy. They just blew up with an M80.
Yeah, funny.
They strapped the dummy up with like a bunch of M80s, like very visibly a dummy. I'm like, all right, they must be in on the joke. This has got to be.
This is like a poof and some like fabric, like like flutters to the ground. Okay,
it was so awesome.
Yeah. And so then like the SWAT team finally gets there and moves in, and then our robbers here just like start tossing grenades at them.
And if Hansen comes out, he gets lit up and he's down. They do a close up on him. He's like, I'm dead.
Yeah. And that's when we cut back to the control van and the guy's like, fuck, God, get it, fuck.
Yeah.
This is all your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, get them out of there now.
What is going on?
Whoever's left. I don't know. At this point, there's like 50 cops that are dead. Before we do the next scene, did you know that in Denver, it's illegal to lend your vacuum cleaner to your neighbor?
I did not know that. I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
Okay.
But just like you can't speed in space.
Don't lend your vacuum cleaner to a neighbor.
That's right. In Denver.
Things to do in Denver when you're dead. Okay, so then all right, so we're down to, did Weston get taken out yet, or is he still, I forget it. I think he's dead.
No, I think he's still.
Hansen was taken out by the SWAT car.
Yeah, no, because this guy like makes a break for it and gets pretty far, like killing more cops as he goes. And that's when Mike's like, "Let's take these assholes out." Yeah, they've been trying to do that for hours.
We're trying our best. So then, like, the main guy is like coming down the sidewalk, and Mike's behind. Mike Kenny and Mike Kenny and the other guy are behind a car. The other cop are behind a car taking cover, and Mike's got like some crazy heavy machine gun. He's just like bah, 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 bah. And Trey, the main bad guy, is just walking in the open with his machine gun, shooting back at him, and neither one of them are hitting anything at all. There's so many bullets flying, and nothing is being hit. It's kind of hilarious. And then Mike,
nothing's being hit.
That's true. That's right. So
then Mike turns around and his buddy is now dead on the ground.
He's like, "Hey man, cover me." Yeah, this is another one's reactions. It cuts him looking over. He's like, "Ooh, ooh." All right about that.
Yeah. And then he finally gets hit in the leg.
And he's out of ammo, so he drops down behind the car. So it's him and Kenny behind this car.
Yep,
Mike's he's down at the bottom. This is all he's got, right? And the bad guy comes around the corner of the car and is pointing a handgun at Mike, not shooting for some reason, and ready to take him out when gunshot fires. Kenny, what are you doing? Put that gun down, buddy. Don't become one of them. So he fires. He shoots the bad guy. And then
the bad guy, which the bad guy still seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's heavily armed, and I don't think Kenny's a good shot, so he kind of hits him, but kind of throws him off a bit. And then from the distance, Rossi comes out of nowhere and just loads him up with a couple more shots. And he goes down.
And then he's dead. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, and Kenny's like, "Mike, are you all right?"
This was his Kaiser Sose moment. This was his moment of like...
It's like at the beginning when they did like the
my God.
Like when as soon as the getaway driver got out of the car and started shooting, this is that moment of that where they're like, "Guys, we got to wrap this up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just wrap it up quick."
Yeah. Right.
Guys, finish the scene.
Let's finish it. You got to go.
We've been shooting for 2 days.
And much like Die Hard, when he's coming out at the very end, a little flip roll though, where Carl there shoots the bad guy who's still alive, saves his buddy. So
you're right. It's basically the same.
It's the same movie. Everyone's just like, let's just make Die Hard.
Let's just make Die Hard, but way worse.
But way worse. So then we're ambulance parking lot. Okay. Kenny and Mike are hanging out, just hanging out in the ambulance.
Whew. We did it.
What a day, huh? We did it. Like 100 people died. We did it. Did you see that guy get exploded by the C4? Yeah.
So cool.
Wow. Rough, huh? No blood.
Never seen a mist like that.
Yeah. Wow. And no one else got hit. That's amazing. So then mom shows up. Kenny's mom shows up and they hug and he's like, "Hey, you okay?" He's like, "I'm fine." What?
He goes, "I'm fine 100%." And you're like,
"No, you're not.
You witnessed so many deaths today."
No, you're not. You're done. And you shot a guy. And
your brain is mush now.
You're also deaf. And like you killed a guy. Remember that? Or you shot a guy? Remember
that? No, he's fine 100%.
100%. Good. Whew, thank God. He doesn't need therapy at all.
Yeah. And then we cut back to the SWAT guy. And he's talking to Rossi. And he's like, "Hey, you did good today."
Sorry it turned out this way.
That's what she says.
Yeah, that's what she says. Then. What?
Sorry, it turned out with like 100 police officers dying.
Like
and
your entire force,
like,
which by the way, 100 police officers in Chesterfield, Mass. I don't think you have that many.
No, definitely not. There were probably like 20 people that died in the explosion at the restaurant. Like so many people died today.
The town is decimated. Like a quarter of the population is dead.
Yes. Which like another like if North Hollywood shootout wise, there were like 9 cops that actually got bullet wounds. Nobody injured. Nobody was like nobody killed except for the 2 robbers.
Yeah.
In this, they're like, oh no, let's just kill everyone.
Everyone. Oh my god. And then
and Lisa
shows up. Yeah. And she finally reconnects with the dad because that's what it's all about. Yeah. And it only took 2 near deaths and a catastrophic shootout to get them back together.
He's like, I love you. She's like, love you too, Dad.
Perfect time for a title card 1 year later.
And it's just Mike like jogging in a park, but like he's struggling. Like when's the last time Nick Cage ran a mile? Like
they're like, let's shorten this one up. Let's shorten up this scene. So then he gets home, and this is all weird too. And they're like, surprise.
Yeah. Surprise, happy birthday.
Was it a birthday? I thought it was because the baby was born or something. Like, wait, what?
No, it's Mike's birthday.
And he's like putting his keys away, and he's standing there in the hallway, and like the family's all in the living room, like standing there watching him. Yeah. And
it's the family plus Kenny's mom and Kenny. So the family's all together, and Mike is just sitting there like looking at the pictures of the wife, his dead wife and whatnot, and he's just like smiling, right? And there's the newborn. Mac is okay. Mac's alive. Hey, there's alive, Mac. Totally Mac's fine. Okay. Mom, everyone's he's
there.
Just like, come kiss your granddaughter. Oh, it was a girl. Oh.
And then he's like, hey, Kenny, get your phone.
Where's that phone you're always screwing around with?
Yeah.
And Kenny's like, here? He's like, I want to take some new pics.
And he walks towards the family, and we cut to black. Oh, man. We have not had one like this in a long time.
It's the perfect movie.
It is. It really is. It really is. This one, I think I would say, grab your best buds, grab a couple Zimas, and watch this movie.
Yeah, you definitely need a few Zimas.
You definitely need a few Zimas. This is like a 4 or 5 Zima movie.
Sponsored by Zima.
The Zima scale. Oh my god. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah. That's
it's only like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
That's fine. Yeah, do that.
So short.
Our episodes are being much longer than actually watching the movie.
That's right. We're back to the ITMT basics here.
Right. Episodes are longer than the actual movie itself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to ameliorate on this one?
I think so.
Okay. 1 right off the bat. Hour and 22. That's good time. I'm okay with that one. Second one right off the bat. Just do a little bit of research. Just a little bit.
Google something.
Massachusetts. I don't get like so much like anything.
Let everybody do their natural accents.
Yeah. You can just let
it. Would have been better.
Yep. Yeah. No one has to do anything crazy.
It's 2018. We live in a global world. Like people from New Zealand move to Massachusetts all the time. Like,
there is a
just
show.
Be a New Zealand guy,
and and it's also like it's like watching that show Chernobyl, and everyone's got an English accent. You're like, wait a second. They're like, we don't care. It's about the story.
It doesn't matter, right? Exactly. It's totally fine.
These are all British actors. Yes.
Yeah. It's totally
the Brits did it, of course.
Yep. Just let everyone speak in their natural voices.
You can cut the entire Agent Rossi storyline out.
Yes. Yep.
Don't need
no payoff.
There's no need for it whatsoever.
There's no real setup or payoff. Like she's in the movie for maybe 10 minutes.
But 10 minutes is a lot for an hour and 22 minute movie. But yeah,
I guess is it?
she kills the bad guy, the main bad guy at the end. But you still don't need her to do that though. Like
Kenny could have.
Yeah, have him be a better shot.
Yeah.
I think time and space need to be reevaluated where things are located.
Yep.
Pick a point of view. It was very hard. I get what they're doing, like trying to bounce from, but you don't spend enough time with everyone to like kind of live there. It's like, oh, you're with Randy, the bank manager, for like a scene. Like, why? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter at all. That whole thing.
I did kind of like Randy, but for no reason other than like he had a couple of funny lines.
Yeah, unless it was like going to continually run throughout the movie to like build up, like, oh, you care about this guy, and like, oh, you worry about him dying, and then he just dies. You're like, oh, I guess that's the end of that. They do that a lot, and it's like, well, are we going to be in the head of the bad guys? Or are we in the head of Kenny?
Yep.
Like, pick a POV here. Maybe you're just in Kenny's perspective the entire movie. Like, going from being bullied to being the guy who shoots the bad guy at the end. Like,
right. That's a good one too.
Just bully the bully, you know?
Just bully the bully. Right. It always works.
Always works.
Yeah. And even just like pick a POV of like the message you're trying to convey here too. Cause like at the beginning you're like, oh, like it's kind of like, are the cops corrupt? Are the cops bad? Is it a race thing? Is it like there's so many directions.
Technology and people being filmed and like there's no privacy. Like
dipped their toes a little bit in a couple of different things and never picked one. But then at the end it's like, well, the cops are heroes. So.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter at all.
Have Mac die. Have some stakes. Have someone actually die. Like, have someone die. Like, not that it's just like
hundreds of people die.
Hundreds of people die.
But you're right. Have one of the main characters die.
Have one that matters, you know, die.
Kill Nick Cage. I don't know. Like, that would have been fine
Kill
too.
Nick Cage, yeah.
Tell the story of the daughter wishing that she could have made up with her father before he passed away. Like,
or if you have Mac die, now it's like Nick Cage's got to so he can take care of the family now, you know? Again.
Right. So many options.
There's a lot of options there.
What else?
I mean, there's this whole the mercenaries. They don't need to be this mercenary crew that's doing. No. Have them ask for more money.
I was gonna say for sure. But like when we talked about the runtime is good, I think this should be a short movie. Like cut the Afghanistan scene from the beginning. It didn't matter at all.
No, it really doesn't matter.
Not at all.
There's nothing extra to that at all, other than to bring in Agent Rossi to be the one who shoots the guy at the end. That's it.
Yeah.
Which you
and
don't
give them motivation of being like, oh, these are ex-special ops guys from what, like, but it doesn't matter. Like,
it doesn't.
Just make them be bank robbers.
Yeah, because all their special training, quote unquote, didn't matter because they were terrible. Nope. They're terrible bank robbers.
Yep. Just make them bank robbers.
Yep. Just make them dumbass bank robbers.
I love this movie and I hate this movie
at the same time. I know it's a love-hate one. This is a love-hate one. It's pretty great. It's like right up. This is like this movie was made for us, really. This was it.
That's right.
This is our wheelhouse. So I don't know, man. Is there anything else? I think we gave it what it needed.
Yeah, wrap it up.
All right, man. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We're back next week with a new movie and trailer trash. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Send us out a download, and if you like the show, tell a friend.
Or tell a stranger, and leave us a review on one of the places you can do that. 5 stars would be nice. Apple, Spotify, wherever. What was that one we saw the other day? Listen Notes.
Yeah, Listen Notes. Apparently,
give us 5 stars on Listen Notes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
whoever's there.
We know who you are.
Yeah.
Or subscribe to us wherever. No, wait, you already said that.
Yeah.
Don't subscribe to us. Send us an email instead because we like those too.
Yeah, we love those.
Trailer trash.
Yeah.
Like we always do, it's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or go to the website. You've got all the old episodes, merch. We've got merch for days.
Tons of.
There's more info about the show and the cast of characters. Russ's book Host is out wherever you buy books. All that, way more. Just joy, pure internet joy. It's thismeetsthat.com.